Hello. Today our movie club is discussing the movie 13 Days. It's about Cuban crisis. So let's start from the plot. What is happening here? Gerard, can you describe us? What is the movie about?
The Americans, the action happened during the presidency of John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Some spy plane took photographs of Cuba, and they found that they were assembling missile silos. So to be able to throw atomic bombs to the U.S. And that would be a good strategic power for the Soviet Union. And the crisis is that the president wants to do something about it, because otherwise the Soviets could throw missiles. In a few minutes, they could reach the capital and the most important city of the United States. So they try to deal with Russia with force, making a blockade. I don't know, putting a blockade. Which location would you use, Teacher Lee?
Word blockade? Normally, we normally say a naval blockade. Mm-hmm. Naval blockade is what we normally say.
The problem was that those actions could escalate. It could have happened. It could have started a thermonuclear war. But eventually, the Americans found a way to solve the crisis.
They saved the world.
Yeah, they saved the world. Fortunately, Kennedy wasn't that pussy as the Soviets thought. They thought that he was a pussy.
Okay. So, Jürgen, would you like to add something about the movie in general? About the plot?
Yeah, I missed. Why did they take photos? Were they suspicious of Cuba? I don't remember that part.
We're always taking photos. Every day. Everywhere.
Yes.
Now we have satellites. We don't need planes. We have satellites.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, Vasant, we just started. So we're talking about the movie in general, about the plot of the movie. Would you like to add something or ask?
Yes, I learned pretty good from this movie, because we only read about wars and political crisis from the history, but this one shows the inside of the Capitol building, where a bunch of people sitting inside and talking about whether to start the war or stay a step backward. So that was really a good thing to learn about it.
The process of making decision is always interesting, because when you don't have a power, you think everything is easy. Just bomb that, bomb this, win that. But when you need to face the solution, take a responsibility for decision, it looks different. Okay, so let's start from the questions. I like the Vasant's questions. Number 2. Why didn't they just invade Cuba? It's interesting for me. Jürgen, what do you think? I think it's Americans. So why Americans just didn't invade the Cuba and didn't solve the problem this way?
Because to not start a new war.
Mm-hmm. Because they saw that it can start World War III, right? Because it's not only Cuba, it's Soviet Union and other things. and it can be bad. Okay. But I don't know. Soviet Union in the end of the things, Soviet Union make a favor, or how to say it, was not so pushy. So maybe if they invite the Cuba, the Soviet Union made the same. Just say, okay, we lost. Who knows? Jart, what do you think? Is it possible?
Actually, 1 year ago, I think the Americans tried to invade Cuba. That it's called in Pigs Bay. In Spanish, Cochino, Bahía de Cochinos, Pigs Bay.
Yeah, we call it the Bay of Pigs.
The Bay of Pigs.
I like the way Kennedy described that. He said, they said invade Cuba. He said, we tried that in the Bay of Pigs, and it was a disaster. And all the people at the time said, don't worry, it'll be so easy. It'll be a cakewalk. And we ended up embarrassing ourselves. You said, not again.
So,
this invasion wasn't a direct invasion from America. I think America helped the Cubans that were against Castro to plan the invasion. Do you know something, Teacher Lee, about that?
No, I remember it a long time ago, but I don't remember the details. But I think you're right. I think it wasn't really us doing it by ourselves. We were trying to help the rebels overthrow the government or something. I don't remember what went wrong, but apparently it was just a real embarrassing disaster, and we failed miserably.
I've read that Castro had a lot of attempts to kill them, survive in a lot of attempts to kill them. I don't know what is the right name for that. So, and they always pretend that it's American do that. So maybe that was the way. Sans?
Yes, I even read once they placed a bomb inside his cigar to kill him.
Maybe it's just propaganda, I don't know. But I read that there are a lot of ways, poisoned food, something in his cigars, and something about sea, I forgot. So, like that. Something about his boat. I don't know, is it true or not, but maybe, why not? If it solves the problem. So, Losans, why you asked this question about invasions of Cuba? Do you think it's possible? It was possible in that time.
Yes, because in general, people would think, why didn't they just invade? Because they are a superpower. They have superpower, and why didn't they just invade a small country which is annoying them? But because even my friends a few years ago, they were talking to me, asking about, did you see that? Even a superpower country cannot invade Cuba. Are they so much powerful? Then I could not answer that. But now, after watching this movie, I realized, so they are also a communist country, so they have some alliances with the Soviet Union. So that's why US is hesitated to invade that country, because they might join together, and to create this might result in another world war, something.
And as Teacher Lee wrote in the chat, it's not US wasn't afraid about the Cuba. It was about the allies, about USSR and so on. Because I think that the operation in Cuba will take, like, I don't know, 1 day maybe. I'm not an expert, but on the map, Cuba doesn't seem, huge. like that. It's just an island. Hello, one. Thanks for joining. We just discussing the movie in general and answering the question why Americans just did not invite the Cuba. Have you watched the movie? Would you like to answer? And we don't hear you. Sorry, one, no sound.
No sound.
No sound. Something with mic, probably.
Okay. So now.
Okay, better.
Yeah. Can I repeat the
Please be louder and mic closer. Okay.
Thank you.
The question is why Americans just did not invite the Cuba and solve this problem this way. Okay, let me copy to the chat.
I know. I think that because the president think that when they invade Cuba, it will need to World War III. Yeah. So he try to find another way to solve the problem with missile by peace way without war.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
this is my answer.
Okay, very good. So let's go to another one. And again, okay, no. The question from Jürgen: what three options do the US have? Like that. So Jürgen, what's those three options?
Number one, airstrike against the missiles themselves. 2, a much larger airstrike against the air defenses along with the missiles. And 3, invasion.
But it doesn't seem like only three options. You know, it will be solved in another way. All these three options will start global war.
Okay.
Teacher Lee, please.
They didn't raise the fourth option because of the Bay of Pigs, I think. They didn't want to seem weak by asking to negotiate. Well, let's make a deal. If you take your missiles out, we'll do something else. We didn't want to do that because it made us look weak. So nobody even wanted to suggest that except for Adlai. Adlai at the end said, okay, no one's going to say it. I'll say it. I'll be the wimp. I'll be the weak guy. Let's try to make a deal. And everybody looked at him like, oh, you loser. But at the end, they came back to him and say, okay, let's make your deal.
And it's an interesting detail in the movie that I forgot exactly, but Americans saw that there is some how to say it, some rebel in Soviet government, like Khrushchev has someone else also, but
Hardliners, we call them.
But as far as I know, it's it was not a thing. So they just cannot. I mean, America just can't see the logic in this proposal. That's why they decided that it's two different men talking with them or something like that. It's very interesting, and it's bring us back to Klaatu and previous movie when no one can talk with each other because there is no belief, no trust. It's the same. Hans, please.
Yes, they wanted to how to say that they didn't want to step back because they didn't want to show their weakness to the other country, and most importantly, they wanted they didn't want to make their own country, their own citizen to think that way, because that's where the real failure. If your country people thinks that you are taking a weakness step, that is the real failure. It doesn't matter what the other people, the other country thinks about it. If your own people think in that way, then that's you are a failure one.
So what is the main problem when you getting your decision back? Is that everyone signs, then everyone expects that you will do that again and again. So next time when you will move your army, people just don't care. You will get it back in a few days. So we have a saying: if you got a car, just shoot. Or got a gun, just shoot. Don't. don't get it without intention to shoot like that. Okay. Gerard, your question: Are generals so eager to take actions that can lead to war? It seems so from the movie.
Is this? Yes, and in many movies you see the generals always want to attack because they are not at risk, but the soldiers are of their country. But it looks like they are eager to prove that they have balls, but they don't think about the consequences. What's the point of attacking first and then like the Soviets attack back with nuclear weapons? What's the point of that?
Vasant, please.
Because I have three possible points, because they wanted to attack the other country because that's what they are trained for, to attack other country. Then the second one is that is the only possible way to show their existence to the citizens of his country, because if you are doing nothing, nobody would care about you. Then if you are doing something negatively or invading other countries, then they will remember you, and they will praise you. You did a very good thing. So like just like that. I think third thing. Yes. Third thing is they have been attacked by the other countries in the World War. So it is another way to express their rage to the world. Come on, here, see what we have in the past. Then it is a time to retaliate or something, giving back to the country. So that's
Good. Farman, you just joined it. I see. Can you speak? Farman, hello? No? Okay. In case if you're trying, you are muted. Teacher Lee, please.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Farman.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for joining.
Oh, thanks
You're
a
fine.
lot. Yeah, it's my second time, but I don't consider the first time as a joining, because I just joined it and I left it and quickly in jiffy. Why? So I just joined it for first time. So how are you all? I'm so happy to meet you all here. And I would like to participate every classes, and even book club, TED talk, video club, every hangout that you are going to hold it, and on the Google. So I would love to participate with you all, because I know that my pronunciation is not good and my English is still rusty. That's why I want to improve it with you all. Thank you for admission, for joining you here.
It's a pleasure. But we have a movie class now, and we're talking about the particular movie, 13 Days. Have you watched it?
Honestly, I'm not interested in watching movie because due to work and my health problem. So doctors, doctors prohibited me. Prevented me from watching TV and from using a mobile. So I'm currently using it because of my eyes vision and the problems. And I have to lie back because my back have. Doctor said that sciatica nerve problem. I'm not sure that's true or not because I'm still young. I did not feel that I have problem with my sciatica nerve. So, but I'm not interested in watching movie. But I would like to watch it, especially old movies, not not Hollywood and Bollywood that now, but old. White and black movies. I love it because I'm fan of. History and documentary, and sometimes romance movies too.
So I got it like a suggestion. Okay, we will consider some black and white movie one time. I think that teacher would enjoy it that too.
Okay. So how about Kurdish movie?
Okay, please write the title in our chat. Discuss it.
So how about Kurdish? So Ivan, please. How about Kurdish movie? I'm sure all the Greek for you because you cannot understand it with us because there's no subtitle. There's no. There's no subtitle for you.
Okay, okay. So back to questions. Are generals so eager
Okay.
to take actions that can lead to war? Teacher Lee, please.
Anytime we have a high-level meeting in the government, we always divide the participants into the doves and the hawks. The doves are birds that represent peace. The hawks are the birds that are predators. They want to attack. So the army people are always the hawks, and the politicians are always the doves. And they fight, like you're saying. Now the hawks, the army, they want to know, people are shooting at my people. When can I shoot back? So the army wants to protect their people. So we call that the rules of engagement. When they shoot at us, at what point can we shoot back? That's all the military wants to know. When can I shoot back? And the politicians are doves, and they don't want to tell them when they can shoot back. They want to say, you ask us, we'll tell you if you can shoot back. And that makes the hawks and the doves kind of against each other. So the military is just trying to look strong and to protect their people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tough decision.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's because it's the only thing what generals can do in general. They are trained for that. They do that all their life. It's like, it's like if I ask my dog, would you like to hunt the bird or not? What my dog can answer. Of course, we should go and hunt the bird. It's the only the only thing what I can do. So it's the same for me. If you ask Soviet generals or Russian generals what they can answer, of course, let's strike first. Don't wait. Do that yesterday. That's all. So let's say, Juan, would you like to add something to this question? No?
Sorry, yes, no, this team I only see one time, so I didn't get all the content. So I will, with question when I know, I will say my answer.
Okay. So let's go to the next. In your opinion, who was the conflict's winner? It's an interesting one. We discussed it in the chat, but I don't know if I convinced anyone. So, Jürgen, who is the winner of this conflict?
Yeah, I think both. Yeah.
Okay.
Because
So no one injured, and world became a more safe place, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Vasants, what do you think?
In my opinion, the people inside the room, they win this conflict because being a president, it costs you many things, because just because you are a US citizen, it doesn't mean you can be a president. A president should be a great decision maker and a great analyst and a great problem solver. It takes many things. So he did a perfect analysis in this crisis, and he did a very good job by doing by making a great decision.
And I think we can distinguish two terms here. Teacher Lee, please help me. So we have winners and we have beneficiaries, right? Can we say so? So maybe the one guy can be winner and another one can get benefits from this, in my opinion. So I think there is two questions: who wins that, and who got the I don't know who got the benefit from that. Yes, the world in general was a beneficiary. Right. Gerard, what do you think?
I think the Soviet Union at Cuba came so much likely more benefit, because America promised not to invade Cuba, to try to invade Cuba anymore, and Russia got the missiles in Turkey are removed. So that was, I think, that was better. The position changed for better for the Soviet Union and Cuba. And America, the position it was almost the same for them. But I think the Soviet Union and Cuba got some benefit.
Well, yes, we cannot deny there is some benefits for Cuba and Soviet Union. At least this solution not to invite Cuba anymore, it's very good. You don't need to place missiles again. Why? So it's interesting. Juan, what do you think about this? Who is the winner? Who is the beneficiary of this? Please. But please put your mic close.
Yes, I have the same idea as Jared. I think that Soviet is the winner because thanks to this case, the Soviet Union, the Soviet force, USA, take back the missile from Turkey, and also. Sorry, I don't know how to say. I think I will say later.
Okay. So I don't know what to answer to this question. You know, maybe as a former Soviet citizen. I don't know. I got used that who is the winner? The winner when your flag in the capital of the opposite country. That is the winner. If you did not do that, it's just a deal. I don't know who wins that. Maybe slightly benefits in one side, slightly beneficial for another side, but I don't know in general. I would say that I was never told in Soviet Union and in Russia that we are winners of these conflicts. I never seen this on TV or something like that. So we don't consider it like we won. We don't consider it for sure. Teacher Lee, please.
We can consider that there were really two battles going on here. One was on the world stage. The world was watching the U.S. and the USSR butt heads. Who's going to win? Okay, so this is what we call public relations. I think the U.S. won the public relations war because seemingly Russia came in, we butted, and Russia went away. So everyone said, "Oh, the U.S. is tough." The Soviets backed off. They chickened out. So we thought we won the PR war until 6 months later. Now, part of the secret deal was that 6 months later, to try to hide the connection, we agreed to remove missiles from Turkey. Now, if that was the Soviets' original goal, we want to get these out of Turkey, what can we do? Let's put missiles in Cuba, and then we can bargain and get them out of Turkey. If that's what the Soviets really wanted to do at the beginning, then the Soviets won their original and real goal. So I think we won the publicity war, and the Soviets got what they wanted behind the scenes.
Okay, it is kind of predictable. I cannot name any battle which US lost in PR. So they always win that. Okay. So let me try to share the window. So we have a question in the chat. One, you can read it aloud if you want. Please.
I would like to know why when USA put the missile in Turkey, nothing. It seems nothing happened. But when the Soviets put a missile in Cuba, it seemed that that missile can can be the cause to become a World War III.
Okay, I'll answer later, but let's listen to Vasants. Vasants.
No, it's just a simple answer. They might not have such a surveillance camera or something. Yes.
Well, I don't think that Soviet Union know nothing about these Turkey missiles. I don't think so, because looks like that the whole company started because of that. But the another thing what I would like to mention that we not so public. We never make this public. We will not say on TV that US put some missiles in Turkey and discuss that. Why? No, we we just try to solve that, behind the scene. And I think this movie is about that.
So your president, Putin, doesn't put his thoughts on Twitter?
Probably not. Yeah.
Never.
Okay. But it's a good question. Yes, it's a kind of different, I don't know, different estimation, different evaluation of the things like that. Okay, and okay, I'm trying again to share my window, my another window for our pictures. This exercise. Same if you can see that.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I choose some random scenes from the photo, and teacher Lee make made labels for that, so we can get some vocabulary and prepare your questions if you have some for that. So the movie is pretty old, so we have some fancy phone system here, but already headsets with microphone and what else? Phone operators. I still have that on my job in technical support. but without switchboard and without patch cables. But the same operators, the same headphones, so like that. And it's a White House. It's a room in White House. It's telephony room. I don't know. Teacherly, how we call it? Communication room, maybe.
No, we should.
Communication room or telephony room.
No,
Telephony room.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, teacher Lee. We should name the Pentagon or White House room.
It's
because mostly we are discussing about political issues here.
Okay, so what else on this picture? Something what interests you? Any questions?
Yes, I noticed in this movie that people used to smoke a lot and to drink a lot. A lot of alcohol and smoking.
And
the phone operators were smoking while working.
Yes, and swear a lot, and swear a lot in the White House. Teacher Lee, how it's possible?
I don't know. Back then, the rules were a lot looser. I was surprised to see him drinking in the White House, though. I was normally on duty. You don't drink. So I was surprised there. One thing about this picture is there was one scene where Kevin Costner came to the door and looked inside here and watched these women talk. And this first woman, she was tough. She was like a Russian. I'm sorry, sir. That's just unacceptable. Goodbye. So she was tough. So he said, I want her to be our speaker when we talk to the military.
Vasants, your question?
No, it's just a comment because I have noticed even a meeting with John F. Kennedy, some people were smoking at that time. I wondered how is that possible? Just smoking in front of the President of United States.
But back to that times, people smoke in airplanes, smoke in childhood rooms, so it was like that everywhere. Yes, I'm happy that it's finished.
Pregnant women used to smoke.
And we can see some gender discrimination here. Why only women walks here? so men are discriminated here. Science all time. Okay. Next one. Next one is about some paper, newspaper. So what is here? Any volunteers to talk?
One question.
Mhm.
I remember Holly told me once that the president of the United States must be called President like Obama, President Trump, and that's it is disrespectful call only by the name. But here they call Kennedy JFK. So was it that correct at this time, Teacher Lee?
You're muted, Teacher Lee. Teacher Lee, you're muted.
I assume so, Gerard. I assume this is a real newspaper at that time, or at least a copy. So I think sometimes the tone is set by the president. The president probably told the newspapers it's okay to call me JFK, or they probably had some agreement. Newspapers like to save space. So they could say President John F. Kennedy, but JFK is very short and saves them space in headlines. So probably they asked the president if they could do that in headlines, and he probably agreed to it. So, but you're right.
Okay.
It seems disrespectful, but at the time we always called him JFK, so he must have been okay with that.
Mhm. Any other presidents who you call by by abbreviation? So this one is a favorite.
Yeah, not that he's the only one that we used abbreviations that I can think of.
Okay, it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay, something wrong here. Let me see. Okay, another picture. Any volunteer? Vasant, please.
And this scene is happening in the warship, and they are projecting. They are communicating with the other Russian ship by showing by blinking the signal light. Probably it might be a Morse code or something, and the people are wearing army helmets and life jackets. And we can see the guardrail and some motors inside the ship.
Mhm.
I got
So the man on
okay.
the man on the left, perhaps an officer, right, teacher?
Yes.
And he doesn't have this life jacket, life vest. It's strange. So guardrail prevent people to take to how to say jump to the sea, right? Drop to the sea. Guardrail.
Fall into.
Fall into the sea. Okay, and some fancy thing, some fancy metal thing inside on the left side. I don't know what is that. Looks like turret, something like that. But looks good. So what do they use? Morse code or some special C code for blinking?
Probably Morse code with a light.
Mhm, mhm.
Now,
Okay.
why
And
they were using a light here, I don't know, because they've got radio. Maybe they were using radio and light to say if you couldn't hear us, you could see us.
Mhm.
I don't know.
And also they bring up some flags, some small flags with symbols, another code, right?
Alphabet flags, yeah.
Okay, another one. Jorgen, anything interesting here?
I don't remember this picture.
It's a small one. It's it's a walks on the Cuba. People walk on the Cuba to mounting these missiles.
Okay.
Okay, I can get wheelbarrow from here, so you know it's some some device for hand workers. But they have a tractor on behind the scene. How we call it? Tractor who work with your tractor.
Caterpillar?
Um,
I think Caterpillar.
Caterpillar's the company that made a lot of construction equipment. Yeah, we just call it a tractor probably. I can't tell what it is. Bulldozer.
Tractor and bulldozer seems for me both international. We have the same words in Russian. And you know, in Russia we call bulldozer if it's on track, and we call it if it's wheel we call it tractor. So it's difference. Tank tracks for bulldozer, but I don't know is it. No. So we can see galoshes. It's a high boots, very practical shoes for soldier, for workers. We can see crane, a lot of nature behind the scene. What else? And spool of cable. The new word for me also, spool. And probably it's for signal for signaling or something. It's electric, maybe electrical. I don't know.
Electrical cable. Power cable.
I think that those missiles doesn't need electricity, but I don't know.
Everything needs electricity, Ivan.
And Farman, please mute your mic if you can. Okay, I'll do that. Okay, so what else? Let's go to the
This man
one.
on the right was holding up a blueprint. Did you remember? Do you see? That's a blueprint.
Yeah, I didn't know. I forgot the name for that. It's a cardboard holder for blueprints.
Okay, another picture. So they don't build only missiles on the Cuba, but how we call some bunkers.
Bunkers.
Can I say so? Some bunkers, and some defensive for the missiles.
Artillery.
But the main tool in army is always is shovel. Okay, so we can see bulldozer on the top. Artillery, old one. I don't know why there is a red stripes. Sounds strange. It looks strange because it's how to say it? It's prevent your hiding if it's red.
Yeah.
So warhead on the missile. It's anti-air missile because it's was thrown after to the plane. So that's what else? Barrel, sandbag bunker.
One question for Teacher Lee. How did they work? Those missiles, anti-planes, did they follow the heat of the engines of the planes or what?
There's different kinds. Some were heat-seeking, what we call heat-seeking, and they would detect the exhaust of the jet and follow the heat. Some would just straight line, and if they missed, they missed. These appeared to be heat-seeking. It seemed like they tried. Well, I'm not sure. Some of them missed him, so I don't know how those worked back then. Today we have all kinds of systems, but back then it may have been just straight line. I don't know.
Nowadays those systems very smart. They communicate with operator, with each other, and they see goals. Yes. So, but in 1960, I don't know. It can be just a stupid thing. I'm not sure. Okay, let me switch the picture. Oh, nice one about radar. Gerard, can you describe it?
This is a radar. I'm not sure if that's a radar or a sonar. What would you say, teacher?
This is probably radar because sonar can't determine how far, the range. Sonar only knows the direction. Here we're looking at surface ships. So radar tells you what direction, and there's rings on the screen that tell you how far. So here you can look at direction and distance. So this is a radar screen. And there's 3 contacts. And the cursor goes around, so it goes beep, 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 beep.
What's mean boogie? Or just nothing? Just a word?
Bogey, we call it bogey. Bogey just means an unknown contact. It's just a name we use. It means an unknown target. A potential enemy. Potential enemy, bogey. Once we identify it, we'll give it some other designation. But when we don't know what it is, we call it a bogey. It's just a code name.
Another interesting thing which I always wonder, why it's always green, all these radars. Can it be?
That was the technology back then. Remember, the old computer monitors were green phosphor. So at the time, that's the only kind of monitors we had.
Okay. So this this line which rotates, it shows the direction of I don't know, of radar, right? What is?
Well, the cursor is just the radar sweep. But the face is a compass. So these contacts are approximately north of the ship. They're north of the ship, 000 degrees. And if you look on the screen, there are rings. Let's say each ring is 5 miles. So they go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 rings away from the center. So 4 rings would be 4 times 5, so 20 miles away. So the distance is from the center of the screen.
It's very interesting to see that old technology. And can you remember in Pentagon they move some cartoon ships on the wall? The soldiers, I don't know how, the soldiers get new coordinates and move the I don't know what is that, the silhouette, how we call it, the ship on the wall, and it's now it's all computerized. I don't know how to say it, but in the old times we need a lot of soldiers to make a picture of the sea. Okay, another picture. Interesting one. So we can see the map of the Cuba, and this circles is what is it? Damage zones, probably.
They're just range, distance.
Range rings. So it's the same idea as on radar. So it's just measure the distance from the position. So, and we can understand possible goals. Right? Possible.
So anything inside the inner circle is within 350 nautical miles from Cuba. Anything inside the second circle is within 630 miles. And then the outer circle, I can't see the number. So let's say I wanted to estimate the distance from Havana, Cuba to the tip of Florida. How far? I know that to the ring is 350. From Havana to the ring is 350. So Florida is about half. So it looks like about 170 miles from Havana to Florida. So you use the rings to estimate distance.
And the last string probably the maximum distance of the missile.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, right. In this case, yes.
Farman, do you
I
have a
remember.
question?
I remember what was this picture about. First, they thought the type of missiles would reach only that distance. But then they found out that they would have the larger missiles and they could reach all America except Seattle, that is the farther tip. Seattle and, of course, Alaska. Yeah, but that's the first approach. I thought only these missiles could reach up to San Luis. No, before they couldn't reach Chicago, for instance. But then they found out that they would have bigger missiles.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I'm sorry to interrupted you again. I just have a comment that I cannot see pictures. When you are talking about pictures, I cannot see anything. Just black. I mean, screen, nothing else. And sometimes I can't see. My teacher is moving, and I think I have a problem with the connection, but I'm not sure.
I think it's not about connection. I think it's about mobile phone. I think you need
Yeah.
computer for that, laptop for that to see the pictures.
Oh, I'm using old brand of mobile phone. So the economical crisis leads us to back to mobiles. Oh, sorry. You were talking about radar. You are talking about missiles. I'm not. I haven't seen anything about. You were talking about ranges, but so I am with you with the topic, but I feel that I can see myself in this movie, but I'm not. I'm not. Familiar or sorry. What can I say about to see pictures here? So
Sorry,
that's
but
why I feel. I feel
can-
a little bit. Body.
But sorry, but I can help you in this regard. Nothing to do here.
No, thank you a lot. You did. You are not careless and nice, man. So you are generous and kindness.
So what else? What
Thank you
else
a lot.
we have here? So we can see that Cuba is a perfect place to to put your missiles on, if you want to scare Americans.
You're right. Yeah,
But
but I do
now,
not threat. But now America is very very strong. A powerful country, so no one can threaten.
as I read in Wikipedia, it was the same in 1960. I read that they have like 10 times more missiles than Soviet Union. Maybe because of that, Soviet Union needs these tricks with Cuba, so they don't have just enough power to say, "You just go away." They need to do some tricks.
Go away. I do not come here, so you are banned to come here. So.
Masans, please.
I want to share.
I'm sorry, it's time to dinner here, so I have to go. I'm so sorry, and it was really nice time to keep in touch with you and sharing with you. Thank you a lot for you all.
Bye. Masans, please.
Bye bye.
Yes, I wanted to share a fact from Indian side, because you said Cuba is a perfect place to attack put missiles. So we believe that Sri Lanka is the best place to attack India by putting missile. So, and we are still trying to get a good relationship with them, because China can just occupy that place and place their missiles there. It was an interesting fact.
Usually, you should say that to Trump. So get away from Sri Lanka if you don't want to scare Indians. Okay, so what else? Let's see some few more. One, would you like to describe this?
So in this year, I remember this picture. After when Kennedy say that he will
Blockade.
have. So I will describe about picture. we can see that far away is a big ship. We can carry aircraft and bring many bombers. And there are many escorts to protect the carrier. And also, I'm sorry, this here is almost new word for me. So maybe next picture I can say more.
Okay. So what else? What to add, Gerard?
There is another sort of boats called frigate or frigate. Do you know, Teacher Lee? I think it's small.
Yeah, frigate. Yeah, I don't hear that term much. It's kind of like a destroyer, I would say. Destroyers are small and fast, so they can dodge torpedoes. So they go after submarines usually. Cruisers are larger ships. They're slower, but they've got bigger guns. So cruisers are generally for attacking ships. Battleships have huge guns, so they're used mainly for bombarding land. They can shoot from 20 miles away and bomb the land, the beach, to soften up the coast so we can invade with amphibious troops. So the general kinds of warships in a U.S. fleet is destroyers, cruisers, battleships, and submarines. Now, we can't see the submarines here because they're underwater, but we have submarines to detect other submarines.
With sonar, probably, right?
Huh? Sonar? Yeah, sonar. Submarines have to use sonar because there's no windows. The water, so radar doesn't work in water.
Jürgen, please.
Yes, I like this movie.
And I like this picture. I always like to see this I don't know, war orders of ships. It's some always good scenery. So our time is over. I don't know if you have more for pictures or not. What do you think? We have a few minutes. Okay, let's do one more. It's interesting.
Pentagon.
What is that? What is that?
I think this is the architecture. The drawing of White House.
Not the White House. This is where the military people are.
Huh? Not White House?
No, it has 5 sides. Pentagon.
Pentagon.
This is where the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force bosses are.
Yeah.
So they have a White House for politicians and a Pentagon, a separate building for army men.
So the Pentagon building. Yeah.
Right.
So
if you look close, you can see that the top part is where the Army offices are. The left part is where the Navy offices are. And the right part is where the Air Force offices are. So the military people work and coordinate their troops from this building.
Yes. Yes, I can see now at the left side, we can see a part for Navy. And at the top of the building of Pentagon, we can see that's a part for Army. At the opposite of the part for Army, we can see a place for coffee. Yeah. Actually, can you explain me? They have the D ring, C ring, and B ring. What does it mean? Yeah, the ring.
The building architecture, their hallways. the hallways or the buildings are organized from the center in rings.
I see.
So they just call them the A ring is the inner ring, the E ring is the outer ring. That's so you can find where you're going.
Yeah. Thank you.
You can Google the real image, not a blueprint, and it's obvious why it's ring, because it's buildings on the photo. Gerard, questions?
I was thinking another important building, the CIA building. I think it's in Langley, Virginia. I've seen in many movies the name Langley, Virginia. The CIA with a star in the middle in the hall.
Is that right?
Right.
And with the stars of the deceased people, departed people, and so they don't have the names, but there are many stars on a wall.
Actually, this is the photo of the same buildings, and you can see that this rings is a buildings actually, and with a house, I don't know, with a space between them. So looks good for me. Very spacey place. You can put a lot of soldiers here, a lot of generals. How many generals do you have, teacher Lee?
Too many. Way too many.
Okay, and the central courtyard.
Courtyard. Just like
Courtyard.
a court in law. Courtyard.
Courtyard. So it's for helicopters, probably.
No, it's a little park, picnic tables, a place to enjoy nature and relax.
Okay. It's interesting that Americans always think about that, because I never seen any park zone or cafeteria in Russian army.
Is that right?
you are in army not for pleasure.
So when the Hawks want to go to war and they're told no, they go to the courtyard to relax.
Okay. So our time is over. Let's finish on that. And it was an interesting discussion as always. Thank you all for coming. And good movie, I think. I hope you enjoyed. And see you on the next class. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.